Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Almost Canceled Television Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Oldhauser, and joining me as always are Mario Miranda.
Hey, everyone.
Peter Bradley.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Timekeeper-in-Chief, Alan Malden.
What's up, MFers?
Awesome. So this week, we've got some premieres to talk about, including Fargo and The Walking Dead, as well as our regular coverage of Scream Queens, iZombie, The Last Man on Earth, The Muppets, The Flash, Arrow, and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you're listening to us, you can find timestamps for all of those in the description. And heads up, next week, guys, we aren't reviewing anything new.
Yay!
Just a 10 or so that we already have. That's okay.
Yeah, we're not adding anything else to the pile, so that's great. And if you've been watching or listening the past few weeks, you will notice that we have cut out a couple of shows. So no longer will we be talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Limitless, and we may cut further because we have lives, guys. And
It's not because we don't like these shows anymore. It's just because we have things to do.
I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was actually great this week, but there's only so much you can say about a sitcom that makes you laugh every week.
It's very true. And maybe at the end of the season, we will do season reviews of all of these shows.
Yeah.
But that's in the future. And right now we're in the present. And so we got to talk about today's news, actually this whole week's news. And that starts off with something very awesome, something very near and dear to the almost canceled crew's heart. And that is Netflix's Daredevil.
Yes.
Season 2 got a reveal trailer because New York Comic Con was this past week. And it was pretty sweet. What did you guys make of it?
It was brief. Got a lot of little snippets, but there was basically this was them like tantalizing people because they knew like we don't want to show much yet, so we're just going to show the back of like a certain Punisher's head. We're going to show just the eyes of a certain assassin lady.
Oh,
you know,
those eyes.
those
eyes.
This was them.
They're like daggers, except she also has daggers.
Actually,
Actually,
Go ahead, Brian Scott. Give us the lowdown.
I only know that because of the weapon
Are
of
they
choice.
swazzle stars? Is that what they are?
I only know that because they are the weapon of choice of the best Ninja Turtle.
yeah, that's true.
Which one was
Leo
that?
isn't
I forget. which one.
Raphael.
Raphael.
Leonardo.
He's the leader, right?
He's
Or
the
which-
Captain America of the Turtles.
That's Leonardo.
Yeah,
Raphael is the badass.
Yeah,
But the
Raphael's
theme
better.
song
Leonardo
says that
is
the
the
other
badass.
one's the leader, right?
Leonardo's the leader, right?
Is he?
Yeah, the Captain America of the Turtles.
Okay.
The blue one.
Yeah, literally. It's like everything you can possibly. Only he's missing. Well, I guess he does have a
know
shield
what's
on his back.
You know what's funny is that we don't even have to jump that far for a segue from Turtles to Daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that is something a lot
so-
of people don't know.
You want to give the history, Mario?
Alan, you kick it off. You know this. Come on.
So basically, Ninja Turtles is a combination of X-Men and Daredevil. From like Eastman and Laird, they saw what Frank Miller was doing, and they were like all this dark and gritty stuff, and they were kind of like just making fun of it with Turtles, like in
Teenage
Daredevil.
Ninja Turtles.
No, but
Exactly.
like literally, like Matt Murdock gets hit in the face, some green radioactive shit that filters down into the sewers. Oh, it falls on some turtles, and then you got
You got the
Yeah.
foot, which is a take on the hand, which is in Daredevil.
Also,
Right.
Splinter is a take off of Stick.
Stick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So, hon, so what you're basically telling me is that the Daredevil show is a better adaptation of Ninja Turtles than the recent Ninja Turtles movie.
Anything's a better adaptation of Ninja Turtles than that movie.
Save
Fucking
for the
Notebook is a better adaptation than that movie.
Hey,
All right.
girl.
Well, back to the trailer. Alan, what was there anything you got super excited about from this trailer?
Elektra is my favorite female character from all comics. I fucking love Elektra. And I saw her and I was like, yes, that is Elektra.
Nice.
Interesting.
Mario, what did you think of the back of Punisher's head? Pretty nice buzz cut, right?
They don't really need to do anything more than this because it's not like we don't know the tone.
Yeah.
They just need to tease like,
That's
oh,
true.
Punisher's in there and he looks dope. Here's Elektra, she looks awesome, and you pretty much know what to expect because you already know Foggy and everybody else. So
Yeah.
you really don't need much.
Looks more of the same great stuff. I will say though that I didn't realize until this trailer that the priest from the first season is the same actor that played the grandpa in The Visit, and now I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to take him seriously.
You just ruined it for me, Peter. Damn,
Because seriously,
made me see The Visit, and now you ruined it.
see, whenever I seen him in the trailer, I'm like, holy shit! All I can see is him putting shit in someone's face now, and I'm like, that's it.
I do not want to see this movie. Apparently,
No,
Yeah,
you don't.
literally, and that shit don't chase like chicken. Speaking of other awesome things that were shown at New York Comic Con this past week, the first episode of Jessica Jones was screened at a panel for a full audience, and of course, people took to the internet to tell us how awesome it is, and also how racy it is. If you've been listening for a few weeks, it's like every week that we talk about a new Jessica Jones trailer or whatever. And continually, Alan and Mario make reference to how Luke Cage gives Miss Jones the business in the butt. And apparently this show doesn't shy away from that kind of stuff. So
I think that's great, honestly. I think that's great.
It's interesting because one of the reviews said that it was the darkest part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm like, well, Daredevil was already pretty dark, so...
Well,
all right.
Daredevil's dark because of the violence. This is more dark psychologically.
Yeah.
There's
That's
some
the
fucked
difference.
up shit that happens.
And, well, so far, like, I don't think we've seen him in the trailer yet. Oh, no, we've heard his voice, but David Tennant is the Purple Man.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to my homeboy.
Yeah, all of this sounds really good.
yeah,
I'm glad that Luke Cage is in it from the beginning. I'm glad he's not just gonna pop up for like 2 episodes and we're like, fuck, I'm seeing more Luke Cage. Like, you're gonna properly set him and her relationship.
Yeah. Which is why I'm thinking, like, because we've got the cast list more or less for Luke Cage, and he's a regular in this show, but Jessica Jones doesn't appear to be a regular in his show. So I'm wondering if his show is going to be more of a prequel to this, or at least in part be a prequel to this.
I doubt it, just because one of Kevin Feige's stances with the MCU is that it's like chronological in order. You know,
Except Agent Carter.
That's true, but that was like a limited mini series.
Captain America.
You know,
Just getting a season 2.
I get. Well, it was at a certain. Look, we did it in an interview talking about, because they were talking about Black Panther, and people were asking about like, oh, are you going to do an origin movie for him? And they were like, no, we established certain things in Ultron specifically because we don't want to do we don't want to go back in time anymore. We want to show how it is a part of the big piece. That's why Spider-Man is not going back. They're like integrating him and just establishing him that forward. Obviously, TV side of things is different, but I don't know. I mean, I think they're putting him, forefront in this show just so that he can already be a fully formed character that people want to see where he goes from there later.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person we will see is Rosario Dawson. She's supposed to be in both of those shows.
She's definitely confirmed for Luke Cage. She's on the cast list for that. Because I was eyeing up. Because I was curious who was confirmed for it as of yet. And she was the one name that jumped out as being, she's, from Daredevil.
Well, obviously, next we have Daredevil season 2, and then we have Luke Cage, and then presumably after that we get Iron Fist. But now in the news, people are speculating, it is a rumor out there that Moon Knight is also being developed as a Netflix Defenders kind of thing. So I'm not as well versed in Moon Knight lore. The most I know about him is that he's basically like if Bruce Wayne went crazy in the Egyptian desert.
Yeah,
Exactly.
kind of.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think the best one to adapt to TV is the Bendis stuff. Just because the idea is he moves to LA and he works as a TV producer. Basically, he uses his life experience as being a mercenary / agent for Khonshu, the goddess of the moon from the Egyptians, to make this fictional TV show where they have a mercenary that fights, because he also fights werewolves. That was a thing.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
For a while. But anyway, he makes a TV show based on his life. And then he gets money after that, and then at night he becomes this is total spoilers for the show, but for the comic book series, but he thinks he's an agent of the Avengers. Like Steve Rogers tells him, like, I need you to go to LA, set up this life over there, and be this like secret agent for me to find out about this guy that's setting up shop in LA. But it turns out all that shit was in his head. He was just imagining that Captain America was talking to him and making him an Avenger. Although we don't actually know, because he was a secret Avenger.
Right. What he is he has multiple personality disorder, and he has to deal with that throughout the series, which is fucking awesome. But another big part of that is that I won't say how, but it is tied into Ultron,
Mm.
and it could directly play off of things that have already
Interesting.
happened in the universe.
Honestly, everything you've just said, and from the little I have read of Moon Knight, I do want a Moon Knight show. I think it sounds interesting and definitely something different from everything else. As far as this speculation goes, this happened before. Like there was speculation about this a while ago as well, wasn't there?
It was an April
Yeah.
Fool's Day joke.
Or was it? Is that what it was?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
remember it coming up before. Like this is
Yeah,
the
there's
first time
been that like pictures that someone made that showed like the phase 2 of the Netflix shows with basically the Marvel Knights from the late 90s, early 2000s lineup,
I'm
which
thinking
included
if
Blade,
this
Ghost
is
Rider.
if this is true, that's probably what it is. It's probably post Defenders, I would think. But I mean, that's just me logically.
Honestly, I think it's he's one of the characters that has a greater chance of getting another
I think
Netflix
it's
show.
because he's so human. He doesn't have powers. Like
Mm.
he has some powers a little bit, but he doesn't have blast. He can't fly. He doesn't have any. He's basically Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost surprised that this is one of the characters that was potentially held off on, and we are possibly going to get an Iron Fist show before Moon Knight. Like, I don't know. Iron Fist is probably going to be along the lines of like how Luke Cage is in Jessica Jones, and just kind of continue off of that. So I wonder if maybe they'll introduce Moon Knight and Iron Fist or something else. Like, are they going to try and spin him off,
They may.
kind of?
Because I mean,
Could, because they are more mystical in
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
both of them. So they kind of relate to each other. And that actually might be a pretty good way
I
of
mean,
going about
it
it.
wouldn't surprise me. Like, I think we'll keep getting seasons of Daredevil because it's Daredevil.
Right.
But it wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise
clearly.
me.
I mean, they fast tracked season
Yeah.
2.
It wouldn't surprise me though if everything else is kind of like a one season deal almost, but they're all set in the same universe. So like, like after Iron Fist, we might get a Punisher season, and we might get a Moon Knight season, but Moon Knight might appear in something else first, just like Punisher's appearing in Daredevil first. You know, like I could see we get us getting like one-off seasons of a lot of these things, and then having things like Defenders and Heroes for Hires, team up things in between here or there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that they don't just do like a Heroes for Hire show and then just bring on different people at different times.
I think they will eventually. I think
it's called
that's
Heroes for Hire.
I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
that's
the next group makes sense to be just called Marvel Knights.
yeah.
Like, just have that
Yeah.
be the next
Yeah.
round. Like, this phase 2 team up show would be Marvel Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Netflix isn't the only place where Marvel shows are happening. Obviously, on ABC, we've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and soon Marvel's Most Wanted. But Fox is trying to make their bid to exploit their X-Men license. And they're developing a Hellfire series. I assume this is based on the Hellfire Club.
Is,
from
is,
the
it,
comic
is
books.
Hellfire the one on Fox or FX? I can't remember.
This is the Fox one,
Right.
I believe.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
Yes.
It ties into the First Class movie pretty well, as we kind of set up some of that stuff in the 60s.
Did they say this is definitely going to be in continuity with the movies?
No, there's no definitive answer to that, but it just makes sense since they have already explored that time period.
Right. Yeah, I'm totally down for it. I'm interested in seeing like what characters they'll use because there are a fuck ton of X-Men.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
That's
I
the
mean-
beauty, I suppose, isn't it? Is that they've got like 100, 200, 300 characters. They can just pick which ones they want.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
almost thinking that this might end up being like a show about a club, but it's all mutants. And like there's going to be like a bouncer and all that other stuff, and it just kind of takes place around that. That's what I'm thinking because it's Fox.
And they'll take it literally. They'll be like, it's a Hellfire Club. Right, it's a nightclub.
Exactly.
But Kevin Bacon is there.
And he's teaching everybody that's okay to dance again at this club. What's very interesting about this news is that Marvel is actually involved as producing.
Well, yeah, they had to sign off in both of these because they still had part rights for the TV license.
Right. So I'm wondering, like, what's in it for them here?
Well, that opens a whole can of worms.
That also broke the internet for a day.
Yeah, until Fox disputed it. Because there was rumors like 2 months ago, and we covered this on the Movies podcast, that Fox wanted to do a show, an X-Men show. At the time it was just one, now it's two, but they wanted to do one show. And in order to get the Marvel to sign off on it, this was around the time that Fantastic Four came out and it was bombing, everyone thought, well, maybe that's the trade. Maybe Marvel gets Fantastic Four back, and then Fox get to do their X-Men TV show. And that still could be a possibility. That might still be the case. I mean, I can't believe that Marvel didn't get something out of this. Maybe it'll be nothing we know about. Maybe it's something behind closed doors that we'll never even know of because it's not a public thing. But I have to believe they got something out of it.
Right. Well, look. What about the other 3 movies? They get magically announced like a week and a half ago or whatever.
That's
it was.
also true. That's very interesting timing on that.
Yeah.
Very
Well, the
interesting.
same with Spider-Man. I mean, they did that up until the end. It was just
Yeah.
no. So we haven't even talked to Marvel, and then a week later, oh yeah, we've totally been talking to Marvel. We're pretty cool now.
Because what they're probably
Yeah.
going to do with this, if they do have, at least for these, whether it's Fantastic Four or not, with these other movies they've announced, they'll probably have another one of those like standalone event things where they go and announce it, like they did with all the other Phase 3 stuff, and make a big hoopla about it. And that's why, if there is anything to this rumour, they'll be denying it, like left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
there's some
I
kind
mean-
of crazy trade situation where we'll get Wolverine for one movie, we'll co-produce or whatever TV show, and like I'm sure like it's Spider-Man, right? Like Kevin Feige is involved with like casting and then like producing and all that shit.
I never even thought it might be for a X-Men thing. I assumed if it wasn't for Fantastic Four outright, it might just be for stuff like Galactus and other villains for the movies.
That's what I was thinking as well. Because I mean, it makes sense. I think Kevin Feige and all of Marvel, I mean, as far as the comics go, and I'm very limited in my comic knowledge, but X-Men has always been very fragmented from the rest of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically on their own all the time.
It would
anyway.
open a whole can of worms if suddenly, oh, by the way, mutants exist in this world.
Yeah, so it makes sense where Marvel could go, hey, yeah, we'll let you do the X-Men show as long as you give us back Fantastic Four, because Fantastic Four don't work in that universe, and they totally work over here. So just stop making things terrible, and we'll let you make the good part of the things we let you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter, you mentioned a second X-Men show, and that is FX is developing Legion as a pilot at the very least. I was unfamiliar with this character, this concept, anything. It's apparently Professor X's kid or something.
Mhm.
I'm going to throw
Yes.
it over to Alan and Mario to give me some comics 101 here.
Although then there's a description attached to this one, and it does deviate a bit from the comic book origins.
Oh, well, would you like to break that down for us, Mario?
I don't remember what the description was.
Well, at least the comics version. If you could give us a pitch on that. Or
So
Alan.
basically, Legion was, like you said, the son of Professor Xavier, and he's kind of shunned by Professor Xavier a lot. It's kind of like the dark secret that Professor Xavier kind of keeps hidden away from everyone else until Legion kind of like comes of age, and he's trying to find his father. And he has all these kind of like crazy powers where he can like adapt just about anything, and he's really cool and he's interesting, and he's also kind of fucked up in the head. And
This gets out.
yeah, it's really interesting. And I think that's really kind of a interesting approach to it, because I think this is the show that has the writer of Fargo attached to it.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Yeah. You keep talking. Alan.
Yeah, it also makes sense to have it on FX because obviously it's somewhere where they can do a bit more graphic,
darker.
according to different kind
Right.
of ground. And this kind of sounds a lot more psychological. It sounds more like the Jessica Jones. Well, the other one could be more of a flashy thing, and it makes sense to
Yeah.
have that at FX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can put it next to the Bastard Executioner on a Tuesday.
So yeah, I mean,
Stupid
this is
CG
kind of the
dragon.
one that I'm definitely like looking forward to more out of the most out of the two.
Yeah, and even if they don't have any continuity or whatever, and they try to stay away a little bit from the Professor X, just so that they don't have to show him or whatever.
Well, I have two kind of negative opinions here. One is I hope it's not in continuity, because I don't like the idea that Professor X from the movies has a kid. I don't know, it weirds me out for some reason. I don't think it works with those movies.
Well, he
even
got drunk
after
and
everything
Wolverine
was
wasn't wearing a
erased.
shirt.
Sorry.
Even after, I don't know. I just never. Honestly, I've never liked the idea that Professor X had a kid. Whenever this character's shown up in like Marvel events and stuff, I just kind of like, whatever. That's him. Like, I don't care. I've never read any of the specific Legion stuff. Maybe I would if I did. But, and to that point, honestly, both of these shows, just from the descriptions of the pilots that I'm sure Alex is about to unleash on us, don't really interest me all that much. They both seem kind of dull and stuff that I'm just not all that into. And combine that with the fact that we have so many comic book shows, it kind of feels like oversaturation to me. And honestly, that is a personal thing because I'm not interested in these properties and they're new things to me. These could come out and they could be great and they could surprise me and I could be like, well, you know what, I'll eat my words. It was good.
But you were interested in the Moon. I mean, I thought about Moon Knight and you were like, that actually sounds pretty cool.
That's true. It does sound pretty cool because Moon Knight sounds a lot more like my kind of thing. Marvel's Most Wanted is obviously another show, but I already care about those characters, so it's like, yeah, give it to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through the descriptions of both of these because if they get made, then we'll talk about them on the podcast when they premiere. But I will say it is from the guy behind Fargo, Noah Hawley.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Just
Is he Noah Hawley?
Yeah, that's his name. Hawley, like Hawley. So it's like
did I get it?
Hawley.
Yeah, let's move on from this terrible joke.
It's a great joke. It's a great joke.
All right, we've got one last bit of comic book to TV news, and that is why The Last Man is also in development at FX. This is very interesting because this series has had a long road in development hell as far as being a movie goes. I remember
it's
Dan Trachtenberg from the Totally Rad show made a Portal fan film, and then they picked him to suddenly do this Why Last Man movie, which is really random and crazy, and then that just went nowhere because it's almost like picking somebody just randomly doesn't always work.
Yeah, just picking the guy who did
crazy.
Chronicle to do Fantastic Four. Worked out well.
Well, at least he had made like a full movie before.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Frank Yvonne has the rights now, right? That's
it's actually Pia Guerra.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's the artist on the book.
Well, you know what I mean. The creators got
Yeah, it went
control
back
of
to
it.
the
they
creators.
have- they have-
whatever movie studio had it lost it because it
So that's probably what, because Brian K. Vaughan is a TV writer, so it's weird that someone like him wouldn't be able to get one of the most popular comic series of all time off the ground in some capacity. But it makes sense more that he can choose what gets done as opposed to a studio trying to bastardize it or whatever.
Well, I think that was the problem. I think, well, first of all, it doesn't work as a movie. If you've read the series, it just doesn't work as a movie. I don't know what they thought they were going to do.
Like a fucking 6-hour movie or something, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
how many issues is the run?
60.
60, yeah.
Okay, so that definitely lends itself to serialized television.
Yeah, that's like 5 seasons right
Well,
there.
Brian K. Vaughan typically writes everything like it's kind of like a TV show.
He does.
Like everything I've ever read by him, with the exception of The Hood, feels like was meant for TV.
Yeah, because everything, like, he does those, like, it splits into, like, 12-issue hardcovers, and it all just works out nicely, and it feels like seasons of a TV show. You pull out one, and it's like, that's season 1, that's season 2, you know, it just feels that way.
Yeah.
I actually really like this comic, I love this comic book series. I'm interested to see what could be done with it.
Honestly, it's ripe for television at this moment, I think, because it's kind of tapping into that whole thing about, the feminist movement that we have right now.
That's
also, there's the post-apocalyptic element of it.
Well, and there's also all these twists built into it. Like, shit, I can't really talk about it without spoiling anything. But there's twists.
Well,
they happen.
There's a monkey.
There's a monkey, yeah.
The premise of the comic book is that the last man on Earth, which we will be talking about a different one of those shows later, but the rest of the world is still populated by women, right? And then
the males of every species except this one man and his monkey die.
His male monkey.
His male monkey, yes.
And then so that's the story. Obviously we've got Preacher coming to FX next year, so I guess maybe that'll be the litmus test on can FX pull off comic adaptations.
If FX end up with a good Why the Last Man, a good Preacher, and possibly a good X-Men show.
Yeah, Peter's at
That's
AMC.
right. That was okay. That's Alice's fault. You just said.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's been a long week. I'm very exhausted. But still, as far as we haven't gotten Daredevil was so monumentous because it was like this is the hardcore superhero show, and we haven't had that before. So it kind of wrong network, but it still stands that we haven't had a proper mature comic book show on cable yet.
Right.
So we've got Preacher coming, and then we will see. If Why Last Man happens, I'm very excited.
I mean, there is Walking Dead. I mean,
True. That's
Quality's
true.
a quality suspect.
Well,
right,
we'll
but-
talk about that more later too. But let's keep the news going. Very briefly, wanted to mention another new show coming to FX, just because they just want to fill their schedule with everything. Donald Glover of Community fame, also Childish Gambino.
Trying our bed in the morning.
Nights. He has a new show that got a full season order from FX called Atlanta. Guess what? Takes place in Atlanta, and it's about crazy. And it's about two cousins and their struggles and rise through rap careers.
So basically, his life.
Yeah, just through two people. He just he probably just took his life story and went, I'm just gonna split that into two people, and then it makes it a show.
Yeah, it's kind of like Entourage.
Yeah, except
because that's based on Mark Wahlberg's life. And his entourage.
So they took like half a person and split into 5 characters.
Well, no, each of the characters is based on real characters. Mark Wahlberg does have a half brother, and there is a turtle, and there is the drum. There's all of them are actual real life people.
I mean, I believe there's a turtle out there.
That's probably why I hate the look of that show. Then, because Mark Wahlberg can fuck off. Basically.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, let's
I do
move
hate
on.
that song.
The fucking opening. All right, so everybody's got streaming services. We've got Netflix, we've got Hulu, Amazon, and we watch a lot of different things on a lot of different platforms. But NBC is hoping that you're going to sign on for an all-comedy one. $4 a month gets you CISO. That's the name because...
That's worse than Dave and whatever the fuck the other one was in Australia.
Stan.
Stan, there we go.
Stan! Yeah.
CISO?
So at first...
Spell that for us.
Capital S-E-E, capital S-O. CISO.
All right. I thought it was a C in there, so it's just CISO. Okay.
It's CISO. So at first, of course, I started mocking this upon reading it because I'm like, NBC, you canceled all your good comedies. Who do you think you are? And then I looked at the list of shows that they have and I realized, oh shit, they just gave shows to all of the people that I listen to on podcasts. So a couple of shows, just to rattle them off. We've got a show from Scott Aukerman of Comedy Bang Bang. We've got a show from Jonah Ray of The Nerdist. And we've got a D&D brought to life show from Dan Harmon.
Vin Diesel.
Based off of his Harmontown podcast. So, two things. One, is $4 enough to get you guys to look at some of these shows that have already been given full season orders, by the way? This isn't just pilots like Amazon does. This is full season orders. 2, should we pitch a show to NBC Universal? And what should that show be?
Well, you see, there's this guy, right? He lives in LA. He's from the East Coast originally. He's really into goats.
He says Wicked. He says Wicked occasionally.
He says Wicked. He's really into goats. He's a comedian now, but he also works at a credit card company.
And he may or may not have banged at least 1,000 women.
Oh yeah, he's also the world's greatest lover.
Does he happen to have a hat friend, a Mexican friend, a Scottish friend, and an eye patch friend? Hat friend.
Yeah, there's a friend who has a hat.
With hat friend. So, that's the thing people really want on advertising. This week, hat friend shows up to tell tips. No, so what do you guys think about an all comedy streaming service for $4?
I would never use it, honestly. I just wouldn't. Not for me personally.
I don't know if I would use it or not, to be honest. I'd have to see what the stuff's like before I even commit to anything, but this is different. When you said it was a comedy streaming service, I assumed it was just all their back catalogue of comedy sitcoms.
So this is kind of leading into 1080, but this kind of sounds like season passes of TV.
Yeah.
That's a little bit, doesn't it?
It is, but it's only $4, and you get there's like a dozen
starts.
shows on the list.
I'm not even kidding. That is how it starts.
Microtransactions are next.
True. I mean, I was listening to Game Scoop this week, and they were talking about the first ever season passes, and it was like LA Noir season pass for $10. And I was like, what the fuck, $10?
Yeah, it used to be really cheap, and I'm not joking. Like it used to be cheaper, and then that's how it started, and now they're $50, which we'll talk about in 1080. Check
Yeah.
out that episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that
Yeah.
so is going to turn to see you later because it's going to be $40 a month.
Yeah.
Terrible
Well,
joke.
once if they actually make, if everybody likes it, and there's a season 2 to this thing, they'll just why wouldn't they jack up the price? Everybody's watching
The
it.
content's very interesting though. So it's definitely a different take than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's what has me interested. I mean, obviously, I already said at the beginning, these are all personalities, or a lot of them are personalities.
Like,
that
are
I
these
listen to on a
are
weekly
these
basis.
more? Oh, I just ask. Does it say if these are going to be like are these scripted shows or are these going to be like more podcast style shows? Like I don't.
No. I mean, the podcast angle of that was just for me to say,
Right.
oh wow, I'm actually interested in this because these are people that I like, and that's kind of you can see by reading the descriptions of a lot of the shows. I mean, like the Harmon Quest thing, the D&D thing specifically, is something that they've been doing at the end of their podcast for years now.
Right. Okay.
It's just now that's being brought to a bigger thing. But they are scripted shows.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that makes me more interested in the Harmon one because I like Dan Harmon. So.
Yeah. So that's kind of it's like I haven't gone from mocking something to going, oh, I'm actually going to do that so quickly in a long time. But I'm also just I like to keep up with new comedies.
Because
anyway.
for a minute there, when you said it was all podcasters and personalities that did all that stuff, I was like, is this basically just them charging for the Male Fuzz Network? Like, is that what this is?
No,
Nah, it
I
be
would
like
never
if
listen to that shit.
Oh, God. I don't think anybody would.
50
Almost
cent.
canceled. How
Well,
about never happening ever?
50 cent a month, and we'll give you bonus stuff. Mario.
I think that's called Patreon.
that's what Comedy Button does. Like they're
Alan will
what's it
take his
called?
hat off if you give him money. every month.
No one wants that.
Well,
Alan,
Exclusive.
if we ever do a Patreon in the video, you have to take off your hat and go like change.
for the Patreon exclusive episode or something.
you got change.
Can you spare some change, please?
Oh,
All right, we got to move on. While we're plugging other things, I'm going to go ahead and plug the fact that we have an all Batman podcast here on the network called Got Ham, and that is relevant because guess what, guys? Pee Wee Herman himself
Oh, that's fucking news.
is playing Penguin's father on Gotham.
Hey, do you know what?
That
This
explains
is,
the reason why it looks that way.
this is
And
why
you can catch weekly reviews of Gotham on Got Ham.
Oh, get the
Batman.
plug. Get the plug done. Is the plug finished?
We record it immediately after watching it live, so it's very fresh.
Are you finished?
Got that ham, real fresh, straight off
Get
the
that
butcher's
ham
In the
rack.
wall.
You finished plugging?
Right off the butcher's rack. It's,
Good,
real,
right.
it's
Plug
still
is in the
bloody. It's
wall.
great.
Right. This is my one thought after I heard this news. If there's one thing that I know is definitely not going to make me try Gotham or give it a second chance, it's bringing back cast from Tim Burton's train wreck that is Batman Returns. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
I thought your first thought was going to be some random Pee Wee noises.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about his big adventure because I was going to defend that movie.
I've never seen
That's a
it.
great movie.
It's a great movie. I enjoy that movie.
I actually rewatched that 2 months ago or so, and I was very surprised by how well it held up.
Yeah, this is just
Just
no,
disappointing.
I'm good.
just no.
It's not bringing
Why?
me back.
I don't understand why so many people are positive about this on the internet. Like,
Because he looks like the actor. That
yeah, it's not
played
a good
Penguin.
thing. It's not a good thing.
Wait,
It's not-
what? He's playing his father. Of course, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a good thing in that regard, but I don't like the character to begin with, let alone having his father that looks like him. It's already like, no.
To be fair, I love this because every week on Got Ham, Skinner and I try and figure out who gets the ham, which is who gave the hammiest performance, what was the hammiest part of the show, and he is, oh god, he's just it's gonna be fucking delicious.
There's
It's
no
gonna be
way.
amazing.
There's no way he's from the
Honey
4
Glazed.
episodes I watched of season 1. There's no way he's going to be worse than the mother, the penguin's mother, because she was horrendous.
Oh, yeah, no. See, that's the problem is that both of his parents are comedic actors, and so you can't take them seriously. Alan, what do you?
This
Do
show
you have
hurts
anything
my
to add
head.
here?
I got flashed because I've talked to Ed Brubaker in person, and he's talked about how they talked to him as they were developing this show because he wrote Gotham Central, and he was really worried about the quality of the show. Unfortunately, I forgot what he was working on, that HBO show that's coming out.
What's
that
wrong?
He's writing on that, and so he couldn't be involved with the Gotham show. But he was really still interested in checking it out. They gave him the first script, the first pass at it, and it was very much like Gotham Central. So he was really positive about it at this point. Then the show came out, which no one ever showed it to him. No one ever talked to him about it. And then he was really. I think he even talked about it at some podcast or interview how disappointed he was that they took this glorious book and they turned it into this.
It's heartbreaking. Although the upside, though, is that's just another reason to be excited for Westworld, which also has Jonathan Nolan involved. So Westworld's looking good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alan, do you have anything to add to this Pee Wee Herman penguin news?
No, it can die.
Fuck off.
Awesome. All right, moving right along. Stephen Fry is leaving QI after 13 years.
That's upsets me.
I understand some of the words that we just said.
Letters.
I don't know who that is, and I don't know what that show is.
Oh, that upsets me, Mario. You should know who this is. QI, if you're...
He hasn't been on Top Gear.
No, he's not. But Jeremy Clarkson has been on QI.
Oh.
There you go. See, now Mario's going to go and Google this and find out what's going on. But QI, if you're an American who's not heard of QI, and you might not have, because it's a British show. It is on BBC America, I believe, so Alex has probably seen it there, because he seems to know what it is.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, it's a panel show.
I also have a thing called the internet.
You do? Okay. Thank you for that. I was just... that's good. But QI is a show, it's basically a quiz panel show that has comedians and actors on it, and Stephen Fry will ask them questions which everyone thinks they know the answer to, because you think the answer's really obvious. But then when they give the obvious answer, they'll get negative points, and an alarm will go off because it's actually wrong, and the commonly held belief is complete bullshit. Like, see, when you guys were in school, did you ever get taught the rule that I always becomes before E except after C?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? That is now illegal. They're not allowed to say that in schools anymore because someone actually checked. They went through the dictionary, and there's actually more words that break that rule that actually apply to it. So,
This sounds like Ryan Scott's favorite show.
basically,
I think he's mentioned it before, or at least the Big
should
Fat
be
Quiz show.
a whole show called Actually.
That's basically what it is.
it is, but it's really fun. It's really entertaining, and Stephen Fry is a great host because he's such a smart guy, and he's perfect for that role. He really is, and he's done the series. If you've never watched it, they don't call it seasons 1, 2, 3. They call it seasons A, B, C, and his final season will be M, which is like exactly halfway through the alphabet. So someone's going to take over for the second half of the show. So it's a shame, but I suppose it's
Whoa. 13 is half of 26? Just getting that straight.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Peter. I'm being an ass.
You're being an ass. Yeah, I don't even know why that's funny, but yes. Anyway,
It just is.
so it doesn't have to show. It's good. If he's going to leave, it's as good a leaving point as any. Might as well make it the halfway point.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. It's been a really enjoyable show. I've not actually watched the last few series of it yet. It's something that once I get into the mood for it, I will binge watch a lot of it because it's just really fun to keep putting on. But it's well worth checking out if you haven't. The show's called QI, which stands for quite interesting, and that is legitimately the best thing I can say for it. Is you will constantly be saying, that's quite interesting. It's constantly giving you facts and pointing out things that you thought you knew and didn't. And then there's a lot of fun stuff, like technically the Second World War didn't actually end until 1989 because Germany as a country didn't exist to actually sign a peace treaty. There's lots of little cool stuff like that. And they'll bring up some really bizarre stuff that you'd never heard of. There's also, I can't remember what the lead up for it was, but there was, technically there might have been a mistake somewhere because of some member of royalty, and we might be 150 years out in the calendar. And that, stuff like that's really funny, and there's no way to prove it one way or the other, but we technically might still actually be in 1850 something. And it's really amusing. It's really funny because I think it was someone didn't like a time period, so they erased it from history or something like something really silly like that.
Well, it's definitely
carbon
1850
dating
in Tennessee.
Then you can carbon date things, so I don't know how that works either.
I don't know. Honestly, it's a great show. It's really funny as well, but it's also really informative and a really sort of bizarre. And it's the kind of thing which once you watch an episode, the next day at work, you'll be telling your coworkers 5 random things you learned because they were just really interesting. So,
In the States, we call that a water cooler show.
yes, there you go. It's a water killer show.
I believe in the UK they call that a water closet show. I'm just kidding. I know that's the bathroom. Let's move on to something maybe you'll think is funny, Peter, because you know that television show Homeland. Well, you know, not only do viewers think it's diminished quality over years, but apparently the people that they hire to do things on the show also think that it started to suck. Because this past week they had an episode that aired where they had Arabic graffiti all over a wall, and they hired somebody that, you know, was the Arabic graffiti artist. The problem is that nobody on the show, which I guess this is something to say for, you know, how well researched the show is, but nobody on the staff during production or post ever double checked to see what he actually wrote. And he wrote certain things like Homeland is a joke and it didn't make us laugh, and hashtag Black Lives Matter, and a bunch of other derogatory things, or just outright mocking the show. I just thought this was funny. It's just something
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, considering a lot of people shit on Homeland, and then the executive or the showrunner actually had to put out a statement saying, you know,
Oops.
probably should have done this, but we admire the rebellious nature of the people that we hire.
Because that's what you look for when you're hiring someone. You're rebellious. I like you.
You don't listen to authority.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. I imagine some Arabic family just switching the channel, going, "Oh, this fucking show that make us look so fucking bad," and they read the wall and go, "Ha,
Those damn Americans, we got them."
All right, well, that does it for the news as a whole, but we do have some losses to report. Unfortunately, guys, some shows have been canceled. They've died. They've passed on. They've gone to television heaven. I don't know.
Of course,
actually, these are all shows that we never watched.
Yeah, I was just going to say the saddest part of this is that Gotham isn't one of them. But
no, but then we'd be out a show on the Mild Fuzz Network, Peter.
I'm willing to take that hit for mankind.
Well, R.I.P. Defiance. For 3 seasons, you were on Sci-Fi. And we're a show, I guess. R.I.P. Dominion, another show on Sci-Fi. You ran for 2 seasons. Apparently, you were based on the 2010 movie Legion, starring Paul Bettany, that nobody liked. So why did you have a show, and how did it run 2 seasons?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Not either.
Looked terrible.
R.I.P. Rookie Blue on ABC, the hit summer show that ran for 6 seasons.
6 seasons?
Rookie Blue.
It's a cop show, I'm guessing.
Have you guys ever even heard of this thing?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're at a funeral. We got to speak positively.
The eulogy. Rookie Blue was a show. It was on a channel. It was consistent for 6 seasons.
Did any of you guys have the pleasure of knowing Rookie Blue?
Yeah, he had his wife.
He was a drunk, cheat.
R.I.P. Beauty and the Beast on the CW.
Oh, it's about
somehow you made it 4 seasons.
I only know that show exists because of Kristen Krug. She's still really hot. Smallville. Lana Lang.
Oh, sorry. Well, I know that name.
So there's Kristen Krug just unshit
she's
shows.
Just really attractive. That's all.
Well, she is. I'm not going to deny that fact, but she's in a lot of shit.
No, but I'm saying that's the only reason I know that this show even existed is because
she was in a shit Street Fighter movie as well, if I recall.
Oh yeah, The Legend of Chun-Li or whatever.
Yeah. Guys, stop reminding me of terrible things. You know who else was beautiful or attractive in Beauty and the Beast? The Beast. Because that's how it works.
He was super yoked out, but he had like one little scar that went like here. Oh, I can't see my face. I'm ugly.
I'm sorry.
You're fucking yoked, dude.
Rest in peace, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. May you rest in peace.